For the next 3 weeks, I'm travelling across New Zealand for the very first time. Starting in Queenstown, I'll be focusing on the incredible beauty of the South Island.
What a beautiful place. Oh, goodness gracious me.
I'll venture deep into the Fiordlands and hike the legendary Milford and Routeburn Tracks. From there, I'll take to the skies over Mount Cook and explore the breathtaking landscapes of New Zealand's great outdoors.
This trip to New Zealand, I don't think I'm ever going to forget this one.
So, come and join me for a once-in-a-lifetime adventure and share in the full traveller's experience. It's great to be back on the road, and these are my New Zealand adventures, South Island edition. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick off this adventure with one of the most unexpected highlights. Believe it or not, the landing at Queenstown Airport itself was a marvel. What an absolutely gorgeous welcome, New Zealand. Very much appreciated.
Alright, welcome to New Zealand. And I am absolutely blown away. Surely the weather can't be like this the whole time we're here. This is unbelievable. If you have the option, like I did, to pay a little bit extra to get a window seat, get one. As we were coming in, I was getting a little bit emotional. We flew right over Milford Sound, over the Southern Alps, around where we're going to be playing over the next few weeks, having fun, having adventures. And now I'm just walking to the bus stop. I've got a little card with some cash on it that I got at the WH Smith's. It gives me 5 bus journeys worth, I think. And if I get the number 1 bus, it'll take me all the way to my hotel. And the feeling of being in New Zealand for the first time. But I don't know where I'm going.
The bus from the airport cost just $2, and it took me straight to my homestay in under 20 minutes. What a fantastic deal.
Okay, I made it off the bus. That was classic. That was full of school kids coming home from school, and some little boy, some little 13-year-old terrorist, let off a stink bomb. And all the girls were screaming. Very entertaining. Seems like 13-year-old boys are the same all the way around the world. Quite a wonderful place to live, huh?
So, welcome to Aura Retreat. Not just my accommodation, but my base of operations here in Queenstown, and as it turns out, my new home away from home. This converted guest house has a very warm atmosphere, and with its stunning views and gorgeous grounds, I just felt at home instantly. And to top it all off, they have a few adorable chihuahuas and a gorgeous wolf dog who also call this place home. Just one of the many highlights and surprises that made my stay here even better. Run by an amazing Kiwi family, this place is an absolute gem. Just outside of Queenstown Centre itself, I'll drop a link in the description so you can check it out for yourself. But before we go out and venture into Queenstown itself, let's have a quick look at the room. Success. I booked this quite a long time ago. I didn't realise it was going to be this nice. Beautiful, huge raised bed. Gorgeous little wooden bungalow in the forest. Birdsong. Absolutely amazing. I need a shower and I need to just relax. It's been a long travel day. Of course, just because I've arrived, I have a massive adrenaline rush. The weather's beautiful, the scenery is incredible, and even though I'm very fatigued from the journey to get here, I don't really fancy just going to bed. I fancy exploring a little bit.
So I quickly jumped back on the bus, another $2 ride into Queenstown itself.
Cheers.
So welcome to Queenstown, a place that feels like it's plucked straight out of a postcard. It is absolutely beautiful, and especially in this weather, I loved every second exploring this place.
Well, as you can see, Queenstown is quite the hub of activity, as I expected. Loads of bars, quite a few pubs. I still am a little bit taken back by just how beautiful it is here. Even in the touristy part of Queenstown, spectacular.
Queenstown is packed with amazing restaurants, from cozy cafes to world-famous burger joints. This is actually one of the most famous burger places in the world. This is Fur Burger. It's so popular that at peak times, the wait can be over an hour. Is it worth it? Well, I'll have to let you decide for yourself. I'm not queuing up for a burger, even though I'm really hungry. Right next door to Fur Burger is Ferg Bakery, and let me tell you something, this bakery is well worth a visit, especially if the queue for the burgers is really long.
And literally, people are queuing outside of the bakery. I popped my head in. They've got pies, sandwiches, all kinds of delicious sweetbreads, muffins, donuts, and delicious meat pies. So I've got a lamb and kumara New Zealand pie. And look at the pastry, it looks absolutely gorgeous. And I also got a BLT with some nice sauce that they toasted as well. So I'll take that home. I think that will be my dinner back at the hotel with a glass of wine, enjoying the view. So before I head back, I'm gonna have a go at this pie. This might be a mistake. This might spill everywhere if it's full of gravy, I'm not quite sure. But this comes highly recommended from the owners of the beautiful Aura retreat where I'm staying. And pastry is incredible. Kumara is a sweet potato that comes from New Zealand. So this is just a meat and veg pie. Very typical. This is something you might find in England, but this is delicious. This is hefty, stodgy, and absolutely delicious. Not too spicy, just the right amount of spices in there. What a first meal here in New Zealand. A proper meat and veg pie on a park bench. Wouldn't have it any other way.
The beautiful waterfront here is the heart of Queenstown, and it used to be a gold rush settlement. Prospectors were hoping to strike it rich back in the days, but these days it's all about jet boats, sunset cruises, and finding the best spot to sit with a coffee or a beer just to soak it all in.
They even have a little beach with live music. What a vibe.
And of course, we can't talk about Queenstown without mentioning the beautiful Lake Wakatipu. According to Maori legend, the rhythmic rise and fall of the water level is caused by the heartbeat of a sleeping giant. Now, the boring scientists will actually say that it's a natural phenomenon caused by atmospheric pressure, but honestly, I much prefer the giant story. The mountains all around here are called the Remarkables, and in winter it's great for skiing. But I'm filming this in March at the tail end of summer. The weather's still great, as you can see. And guys, it's just really hard not to fall in love with Queenstown the second you get here.
Well, I think we've died and gone to heaven. This is what heaven looks like. And they serve Kit Kat arrows. Bonus.
So yeah, fair to say my first impressions of Queenstown were very good. I absolutely just loved this place. I mean, even just a simple thing like a bus stop really impressed me.
Have you ever seen a more pretty backdrop at a bus station?
Right then, let's get back on the bus, get back to our accommodation, and have a little bit of dinner and test out some of the local delicacies, including another pie and their local Sauvignon Blanc. A peaceful, beautiful, scenic, simple dinner, but absolutely delicious none the same. And I even had a friend come and join me. Right, let's hit the hay. It had been a long travel day and I was very jet lagged, but we were going to get up early because I'd been invited to try a local tradition here in Queenstown, and I would need a little bit of Dutch courage to overcome one of my major fears. The cool thing about staying in a family-run hotel is you get to meet the locals. They're locals, obviously, and they invite you to do things that the locals do, like jump in the lake. Should I jump in? Nung song sam. Oh, I can't believe I'm swimming in the lake. I must be mad.
Hey, high five.
I would never have done that in a million years if it wasn't for them. If you're wondering, is it cold? Yes, it's cold.
Woo!
I'm so glad I overcome my fear, so thank you so much to the people at Aura Retreat for getting me out of bed and getting me into that water. It was icy cold, but it was enjoyable, and I would definitely do it again. Right, let's go have a mini adventure right now, because right next to Aura Retreat is a beautiful trail. Gonna go for a little bit of a hike just to stretch my legs. The main reason why I've come to New Zealand is based around going on some multiple day hikes, some of the great walks of New Zealand. And they begin and end here in Queenstown. They don't begin for a couple of days. So I thought, since literally a stone's throw away from the beautiful Aura Retreat, literally next door, is the beginning of a trail called the Aoraki Terrace hike. And this is our first exposure to the countryside of New Zealand, to the flora and fauna of this new part of the world, this new continent. Some people say New Zealand is a continent now. Not quite sure if it is or not, but this is our first little walk in the park. So let's go, let's see what we can find. Stretch our legs and warm up for these big hikes. Lots of beautiful bird song. All the birds busy, frantically flying around, socialising, building their nests. Quite a unique part of the world. You've got these palm tree type looking things, but you've also got ferns, and then you've got pine trees. Whenever you travel to a new country or a new continent, immediately everything is different. But here, strangely familiar. I suppose this is what I'm talking about, this thistle, this beautiful tall thistle. Behind is almost like a palm tree that you would see in Thailand. So you've got something very familiar to what I'm used to in the British Isles, also something I'm very used to in Thailand, and here they are living together. So it's quite unique. This is not a channel about plants, but it's just interesting that we do have two types of vegetation living together, or two contrasting anyway. As far as I was aware, palm trees lived in hot countries and ferns and thistles lived in cold countries. I have no idea if that's going to make the edit, but it was interesting to me. A little bit of a hill now. Try not to look at the view too much because I want to save it for when we get to the top. Nothing strenuous, guys. This is a walk in the park. Up through the Rockies. Seems like there might be something up here. Ooh. Wow. Okay, we're coming up to a clearing now. Lovely. Wow. Isn't this something? There's a memorial to a dog called Jed, or the salty dog. He must have loved to come for walks up here with his owner. And I can see why. In the distance on the lake is that beautiful, looks like a steamboat. I definitely want to figure out if I can get on that this afternoon. This little hike, this little tiny 45-minute walk to this viewpoint has been lovely. What a beautiful view. I'm going to soak it up, enjoy it, walk back, and then jump on the bus and keep exploring and see if I can figure out a way of getting on that beautiful vessel. That feeling of when you get to a new country for the first time and you see the lay of the land, it's like a drug to me. I wish I could bottle this feeling and just drink it whenever I feel glum. What a country. What a beautiful place. Oh, goodness gracious me. So after the hike, I spent the rest of the morning lazily hanging out with the pack, and thankfully the sun came out. Later, I popped back into town and made some investigations into the steamboats and other activities that I could try in the town centre. And the weather has cleared. The rains have gone. The sun's come out and it's burnt it all away, and just look, it's just absolutely beautiful. So a few developments. I did some inquiring along here, and this is where that beautiful steam engine ship will come, and it goes on the lake every 2 or 3 hours. So I've booked to go on, but not till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. In fact, I can just see it coming back from its latest voyage. Basically, it just goes all the way to one side of the lake, turns around and comes back. And it's $150 or something. It's quite expensive. So we will review that experience together. I'll let you know if it's worth it, but I really want to have a go on it. As it comes in now, I mean, just look at it. It's absolutely beautiful. So because we've got some hours to kill, there's two things that I'm going to do right now. The first is there's a little hike that starts from just the actual town centre, basically. Goes up this little mountain here, and it's a couple of hours, and we should get a beautiful view of the lake. So we'll do that now, stretch our legs. We'll grab a bite to eat, and then we're going to do something adrenaline fueled, something a little bit extreme. I'm not doing the bungee jump, I'm not ready for that yet, but there's a little clue. I just showed you a little clue of something quite spectacular, very unique. I've never seen anything like this before. So we're going to do that, and then we'll go on the beautiful ship. Look at it coming in. What a sight. I'll tell you what, it's a hike to get to the hike. So we're going through the suburbs, but beautiful houses, holy moly, look at the view they have. Okay, there is parking here, so quite a lot of cars, camper vans. So if you do have your own ride, quite convenient, just park up here or get a taxi, save yourself half an hour. But anyway, we are here, Queenstown Hill Walkway, 1.5 to 2.5 hours return. So it seems like we're going to be heading into the alpine forest, which if you look across, goes up to about 500 meters above sea level. So just looking at that, it's the same on this mountain. So I think we're going to be in here for a good portion of the hike. And then at the end, at the top, we should get that reveal. Okay, we made it out of the tree line. It's about half an hour. Not even. If you are coming to Queenstown and you're looking up at the mountain and you're thinking, oh, I don't know, is it worth it? It's worth it. I mean, just look behind me. It is unfreaking believable. We got so lucky with the weather. But even on a cloudy day, I mean, even if I came in the snow, it would be incredible. Bit tricky at the top. That last little bit after the tree line, quite steep. What's nice is there's multiple little spots you could perch on. There's a lady enjoying a view on her own down there. You could go over there. Anywhere along here really, have a little spot to yourself. But there's one more, looks like Pride Rock
from The Lion King. Go have a look over there, see if the view's any different. Oh, that's interesting. Any further, it's private land. There are some sheep and it's just field after field after field. Let's go check out Pride Rock. It's been quite busy on the trail, to be honest, but I would expect so much being higher. You know, the fact that the trail starts basically in the town centre, or 10-minute walk anyway, and it's reasonably easy and it's completely free. And it's the perfect time of day for people to go out explore, and the weather's perfect. There's people up there. What a beautiful shot that would be. There's my camera over there. Hello! Make sure I look adventurous. Look into the distance. Point at something random. Turn around. I'm lost for words. I'm utterly speechless. Come and do this hike. So just before I make my way back down, where we're going to do something very fun and a little bit crazy, I just want to say a big thank you to the sponsor NordVPN, the perfect place to go if you do need a VPN, guys. If you're in the marketplace, to stay safe online and to be able to toggle your location back to your home country with a flick of a button. Just like me, actually, yesterday when I was trying to watch the match, I have an app on my phone that I pay monthly to access the Premier League in Thailand. And last night I wanted to watch the game and it said it was unavailable in your country, but because I have NordVPN on my phone, I just opened up the app and then used the VPN system to switch my location back to Thailand, and boom, I was able to watch the match on my phone and stay connected as well and stay safe. They have lots of incredible features, including Threat Protection Pro, which they're actually throwing in for free. You'll also get 4 months for free on any purchase of a 2-year plan. This is an exclusive deal, so if you are looking for a VPN, then check out the link in the description. It's nordvpn.com/Paddy Doyle. As you can see, it's written here, nordvpn.com/Paddy Doyle, and you'll get that special discount. Like I said, they're going to throw in Threat Protection Pro and a few other features. Click the link and you can go and learn more. And anyone who does sign up, you'll be supporting the channel to go on adventures like this. Speaking of which, I'm going to make my way down and we're going to go on a shark boat. They sell a lot of like adventure stuff here, right? You can go bungee jumping, you can skydive, all sorts of crazy stuff. And there's 2 things that I've got my eye. One is a jet boat, which whizzes across the water in the rivers and the creeks, and it looks absolutely amazing. But then there's this other thing which is super unique. It's right behind me there. It's that shark-shaped jet boat. It's called Hydro Attack. And I spoke to the lads who were working in the little pavilion, and they sold me hook, line and sinker. And I'd seen a few of them going out, and it looks absolutely insane. So I booked an appointment. It's a 15-minute thrill ride, and it begins in 10 minutes. So they will stick a GoPro inside, so we will get some footage from it. But I'm not sure exactly how I can vlog inside. We'll figure it out. Or maybe I'll just have to show you the footage and explain to you how the experience was. So, let me tell you about this. This is a hydro shark. Part boat, part submarine, and a whole lot of adrenaline. These things are powered by a 260 horsepower supercharged jet engine.
Wow! We're under the water!
Designed by a complete maniac from New Zealand, they can reach speeds up to 80 kilometers an hour and dive below the surface and launch up into the air like a real shark.
This is James Bond!
As we twisted and as we turned, the G-forces pinned me down to my seat and the pilot was pulling off absolutely incredible maneuvers and jumps and crazy stunts. It was just, it was such a great experience. The entire experience was about 15 to 20 minutes and we stopped a few times to let the air in because it got really hot inside. And the pilot up front, who was also from England, was an absolute maniac. Honestly, 10 out of 10 experience, super unique, something you can only currently do here in Queenstown. So if you ever come here, book to do this. It is class.
Wow, there we go.
Queenstown is known as the adventure capital of the world, and after this ride, I can see why.
Cheers, big ears. Okie dokie, just had a lovely couple of cans of beer, met a really cool couple from America, had a good old chinwag, and now we're going on this beautiful vessel. Can't wait, this is going to be so beautiful. Look at that, what a beautiful thing. I got my ticket and we're going to board as soon as everyone gets off.
The TSS Earnslaw was launched in 1912. That's the same year as the Titanic. It was originally used to transport sheep and cargo, as well as other passengers, and unbelievably, it's still operating today as a scenic cruise vessel.
Right, I'm officially the last person on the boat because I was chatting away to the people who work here. Lovely lady from Newcastle. And it is absolutely packed. Apparently the 5 o'clock boat is the busiest one. So, if Titanic has taught me anything, it's that there are not enough lifeboats for all these people. There is a bar, that's a bonus. Oh, there's a piano player. I got a little bit of inside information from the people who work here, and they said that downstairs is the best place to be. Oh, it's a lot of heat coming off that, isn't it? Oh, it's boiling hot.
Sit on the edge, it's not so bad. It's slanted all the way.
Oh, I bet this is the best seat in the house on a winter's cruise, right? We're just talking because the seat is really, really nice and hot because right behind us, that's the coal steam engine. There's a lot of heat coming off that. It's really cozy.
Yeah, all of the lads working in the engine room were English, and I actually managed to chat to them for a little bit, and they told me all about how the engine actually works. I won't go into all of it, but basically they throw in 1 ton of coal per hour, all by hand, which then in turn powers 2 boilers that push the engine across the lake day in, day out.
Alright, I've made some friends, some Aussies from South Australia, mate. But we just sat here on the heated seats because of the boilers, talking away, and we're all discussing the question of, is New Zealand the most beautiful country in the world? And we're struggling, once again, to come up with a more beautiful place than this. I mean, have a look at that. breathe that in for a minute. Like, I'll just be quiet. Breathe that in. Say hello, say hello. Hey! We're on our way back into Queenstown now. Guys, I cannot believe how amazing this cruise has been. I thought this was going to be a relaxing, chilled out, maybe boring section of the video and my day. I was excited to go on the ship, but I thought, okay, it's going to be 90 minutes. We just go up to the lake and turn around and come back. Can't be that exciting. But the people that I've met on board, the crew, who are all English, by the way, have been incredible. And just walking around this vessel and seeing the history, and there's a museum in the bow. This has been the best day in my life for a long time. I cannot remember having so much fun in one 24-hour period. And the day is not even over. I get to now sail into Queenstown on this beautiful vessel, grab a bottle of Sauvignon Blanc from the bottle shop, go back to Aura Retreat and hang out with the Chihuahuas, have a glass of wine and watch the beautiful afternoon unfold from heaven on earth at Aura Retreat. Queenstown, I love you. New Zealand, you're incredible. My first day here, or my first few days here, has been nothing short of a joy. I'll never forget this experience. I'm sad to leave Queenstown, but we're heading into the most incredible place, doing the most incredible thing, starting tomorrow.
The Milford Track in New Zealand is arguably the most beautiful walk in the entire country.
New Zealand, she's a beaut.
And for the next 5 days, I'll be hiking it along with 50 other hikers on a fully guided experience.
Unbelievable.
This means everything will be taken care of, from delicious meals to proper gear, comfortable accommodations, and even a private luxury cruise through Milford Sound itself. But with prices reaching upwards of $6,000, is it actually worth it? Well, let's hit the trail and find out. So I should start by explaining that the company who organises these group hikes is called Ultimate Hikes. And the previous day we had all been given a full briefing on the trail, the weather forecast, and the opportunity to borrow any gear we needed. They provide rain jackets, bag liners, and other bits and bobs, and I borrowed one of their 40-litre backpacks because I didn't bring mine to New Zealand. Then on the morning of day one, we had all been picked up in Queenstown and jumped on the bus that would take us east towards the national parks. The first day is basically getting us all as far away from civilization as possible, and so after 4 hours on a bus and 1 hour on a boat, we were all well and truly in the thick of it and at the start of the trail.
Welcome to the beginning of the Milford Track. We have officially begun a 5-day hike in paradise. The weather forecast is mixed, but today it's beautiful. This is gorgeous. The whole forest is covered in this beautiful moss. Every tree, every branch. It's almost like a hairy forest.
We only had 1 kilometre of walking to get to our accommodation for the first night. So we were given some time to find our room and settle in a little bit. Then we had a group photo, and then the guides put on an optional nature walk. About 45 minutes to an hour just walking into the forest near our accommodation to check out some of the local flora and fauna and to just learn a few things about this incredibly unique ecosystem completely cut off, seemingly, to the rest of the world.
Well, if you ever want to feel like an explorer, come to New Zealand for the first time. I mean, have we landed on a different planet or what? And that guided talk was so interesting. We learned so much about how these animals that have called New Zealand home for millions of years evolved especially the birds, to have no fear of predators. So they're all super friendly. And what's good as well is like, they just let you do your own thing. Like you can hang out and do the, you know, listen to the group and listen to the information, or you can just fall back or go ahead and just follow these little orange signs, and it just takes you on a loop through this majestic, incredible mossy forest. And the guides are saying because it's dry, it's quite strange. Normally this place is completely soaked, and that's when it's really alive. But we've seen quite a lot of bird life, so that's been really nice. It's an optional extra. It's been about 90 minutes and I've enjoyed every minute of it. And now we're going to go back to the lodge and have dinner. They're going to cook us a fancy dinner.
The price includes all your meals, including a 3-course slap-up dinner every night. So that was the end of day 1. Basically just a travel day to get to the trail itself, a short hike, a short nature walk, and a dinner. But I, along with the whole group, were really eager to just get going, get those kilometers under our belt, and to start making our way through the valleys and the mountains of this beautiful part of New Zealand. Let's pick things up in the morning on day 2 and get going.
Welcome to day 2 and the beginning of the trail. It looks like it's going to rain. In the valley, there's a little bit of distant thunderstorm and quite a bit of rain. So we're all packing up after our delicious breakfast. Oh my God, cooked breakfast, beans, scrambled eggs, bacon, toast. I had some Weetabix with peaches, a big cup of coffee, and a really nice hot shower. They've got really good showers here with shampoo and shower gel, and slept really well last night after a couple of beers with a few other hikers, talking all sorts of great stuff and just sharing stories. And yeah, we're gonna leave at 8:30.
It's also worth mentioning that each morning there is a sandwich station, a place where we can make ourselves a sandwich and our lunch, whether it's a wrap, a couple of sarnies, grab some fruit, grab some snacks, all fresh, all yummy, and all included in the price. Right, let's get a move on.
Feels good to be finally on the hike.
Yeah, the wait was over and we were now on our way. The rain at this stage was only light, and with the forest as cover, it wasn't really that bad at all.
As you can see, the trail, very well maintained. This is going to be quite an easy first day. Just flat and following the river through the valleys. Let's go.
Now, the Fiordland National Park is renowned for its high rainfall. In fact, it rains 182 days every year. So you will need rain jackets, and this will be a part of this hike. You are going to get wet. But with the rain comes the waterfalls, and this region really comes alive in the rain. So don't be put off.
A man on a mission with an umbrella.
I think one of my main concerns about doing a guided tour with this many people was always being in a line or being around conversation, which is not really what I look for in a hike. I quite like solitudinal moments and being alone, and it's kind of the reason I like hiking, is to just switch off and daydream and stare at the nature and just enjoy being at one with nature. But at the beginning, this morning, I thought, oh God, there's a lot of clumping up, a lot of single file and a lot of chit chat. But within an hour or two now, we've really spread apart. And what's nice is if you do like to chat and make friends and exchange stories, you can just hold yourself back, wait for the next group of people. And there's normally groups of 2s, 3s, 4s, and they're having a nice chat and they're hiking together. And that's fun. But if you want to have a bit of your own space, just tie your shoe, have a drink of water, and you'll soon find that there's nobody here. My lunch was great, and it's really coming down now. If you're wondering, where are the toilets? Are there toilets? Here they are. And quite the view. Lovely day.
After lunch, the rain started to come down much harder, and for the next section, we would be hiking through the valleys, so we were going to be more exposed. However, as I mentioned, with the heavier rain came more waterfalls. I would much rather walk in this than walking in hot conditions without the majesty of the waterfalls all around us. Yeah, a bit windy and a bit wet. Quite the understatement, Paddy. It had been a wonderfully damp few hours and almost everyone and everything got soaked. But we were all still in complete awe of the beauty of these valleys.
Okay, it's finally stopped raining. Clouds have parted and the valley is slowly revealing itself, and it is quite something to behold. There are 1,000 waterfalls to my left. There are 1,000 waterfalls to my right. It's really quite something. All the rain has created the waterfalls but been hiding the views, but now we're getting the best of both worlds. Did we get soaked? Yes. Was it worth it? Absolutely.
Yeah, with the rains disappearing and the valleys finally coming into full view, the true wonder of this Milford Track was starting to reveal itself. So let's find a nice spot and enjoy the views.
Woohoo! Wowzers. Blue skies. I did not think I'd see blue skies today. So let's just stay put as we get eaten by sandflies. Can you see them? Everywhere. Wow.
Right, let's get to base camp, settle in, get dry, and eat like a king once more.
Okay. Good thing about being the first person, bottom bunk is mine. This is my kind of hiking.
So, after a wonderful hot shower and a change of clothes, it was time to put all of my wet gear into the drying rooms. These rooms blow hot, dry air, and everything that is soaking wet will be dry as a bone within an hour. Then it was time to put my boots in the boot drying room. You can guess what happens there. Let's grab a coffee and let's just chill and relax and wait for dinner. Just before dinner was actually another briefing. We had a big mountain pass tomorrow and they wanted to brief us about it properly. And then it was time for dinner. Warm, delicious pumpkin soup. 3 options for dinner. I went for the beef curry, yes please.
Let's do it, let's go. As long as you put me on the video. That's it, let's go.
And then after the creme brulee dessert, it was time for bed because we had an early start the next day.
Nice and moist, not raining. Fresh temperatures to start with. Cool. So, yeah, have a great day. Let's go, let's walk.
I was thinking for this morning's section, I'm going to have no music. Let's just have the full ASMR experience. Okay, so far so good. I've got like a rocket up my arse today. I've gone right past everyone and I'm leading the pack, as to say, as we head towards McKinnon Pass. This is the tricky part of the hike today. This is the most tricky part of the entire Milford Track. This big granite wall, we're going to go zigzag up to the top, curl around and come down, and it's going to be quite difficult.
Right there. Like they might have. It looks like a pier. Like a very, not a very impressive one, but
Some fresh antlers. I got caught up by the guide, and he was huffing and puffing, and he politely told me that I can't just go up the pass on my own. So I have to sort of hang around at a hut and have a drink. Is that the berries we were eating earlier?
mm-hmm.
Hello, little wood pigeon. That is spectacular. We've come up to the summit and there's a beautiful monument, and we are surrounded by quite high winds, but this is a little bit of shelter, and the clouds are rolling over and coming and going, so I'm not quite sure how long this view's going to last, but come and enjoy it with me together. Look at this. There's a little rock here, and if you're scared of heights, just close your eyes for 5 seconds.
I probably shouldn't speak too soon. G'day, how are we going, right? You know, like I think the first year as a rookie, lots of training, but I think financially it's a bit tough because
So a D.
That little nibble.
New Zealand. She's a beaut. Unbelievable. What an incredible section of the hike. The highlight so far by a mile. Hiking this ridge. Oh wow. Whew. Loving my life right now. And so will you if you come to New Zealand and do the Milford Track, or go anywhere. This country is incredible. Oh, it's a little bit windy.
I had one of them once. Like they're quite sophisticated too.
Ah!
Yeah, they use them themselves for
Wow, it's so fancy in here, isn't it?
Right, that was lunch over with, and that was the McKinnon Pass. The hardest part of the hike was now over. All we had to do now was to get down. I don't like downhills, so it was time for some tunes, it was time for some more incredible views, and it was time to really just buzz off the feeling of being this deep into the New Zealand wilderness.
This is that part of the hike where music's in and I'm just blissfully unaware of the sounds around me. And I turned and I saw this. Okay, welcome to the beautiful Queenstown Lodge. This is where we're going to be sleeping tonight. I've just checked in and dumped my bag, well, the stuff inside my bag, and claimed my bottom bunk. I think I'm the first person off the mountain, which is good. There is an optional hike to a waterfall, which I'm just going to do now. I'm not going to bother getting rested and sit down and have a cup of tea because I'll just get stiff. So we're just going to keep moving. It's a sweaty one, but it's a beautiful one. It's worth it. Woo!
Okay, day 3 was over. The highest pass, the highest waterfall, and the best dinner of the hike was now all complete. Time for a quick briefing, a few well-deserved beers, and bed.
Right, everyone, we're going to move on.
Morning briefing.
Ready?
Oh, that was quick. We have a half marathon. We have 23 and something kilometers, mostly flat, all the way to the Milford Sound itself, where we will get on a little boat and get taken to our next cabin, where we'll stay one more night before doing a Milford Sound cruise as the finale of the entire experience.
It was shaping up to be a beautiful morning, a beautiful day. We had a lot of ground to cover, so let's go.
Wait till I say go, because I need to get your face in front. Okay, go.
Go. What's up, YouTube? What can I get you? What's up, YouTube? What can I get you? Milo, tea.
Endless beauty around every turn. Okay, welcome to the official end of the Milford Track here at Sandfly Point. 33.5 miles. And what a beautiful track it was. There's the boat. That's something else.
Yeah, it's going. Say hi, yeah.
Hi, Paddy.
Paddy, remember us. Don't forget us.
You're the man, Paddy.
Love you, bro.
Say hi to YouTube.
Cheers, Paddy.
Woohoo!
And
Love you,
Get
Paddy.
yourself there.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet. Don't forget to turn it off.
Oh, you can see it in the front. That's so cool.
Cheers, everybody. We made it. Milford Sound.
Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. The limit of love is endless, I know. Just do what you want with me. Yeah, I want it all. Could care less the cost. I give you my everything. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. And give me your freedom. Whoa, yeah, to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium.
Right, just before we start off this adventure, I want to give a quick mention to the beautiful little town of Teano.
Okie dokie, good morning and welcome to the beginning of the Routeburn. So I'm about to get picked up from this glorious little town of Teano, and I just want to give this place a little bit of love because after the Milford Track, which by the way was absolutely amazing, and you'd like to watch me do the 5-day Milford Track hike with Ultimate Hikes, I'll link it in the description. You can watch it after this if you haven't already. But they dropped me off here. I had a night accommodation at the Lakefront Backpackers Hostel, which had dorm rooms and private rooms, and I booked a little teepee, and it was beautiful. Got a great night's sleep, nice and warm and cozy in the tent, and a good clean shower, and a nice fish and chip supper in the town with a can of pop. And this town is one of those towns that if you pass by, you will wish you were staying longer. Te Anau is also home to some multiple day hikes and day hikes that are completely free over in the mountains behind me, up in Luxmore Mountains. There's a famous hike, and you take one of the boats across the water and you hike up into those mountains for a few days. You can also do a day hike. Anyway, the reason why I wanted to mention Te Anau is because it's so beautiful. So I am a bit gutted that I was only here for one day. But alas, I'm heading into town where I'm going to get picked up, get back on the bus with a few of the hikers from the Milford Track, a few of the guides from the Milford Track, and we're going to go up to the beginning of the Routeburn Track, and we're going to start that hike together today. It's going to be 3 full days of hiking, so a lot shorter than the Milford. So it is a little bit cheaper, but I wouldn't say the word cheap in a sentence about this hike. But we'll get onto that throughout and later in the video. Is it really worth it? One does simply not come into Te Anau without trying miles better pies. I've gone for a lamb and plum sauce pie, a nice hot cappuccino, and a sausage roll for one of the guides, because in the last hike I rushed ahead and he had to come and chase me down, and I think it took him about 45 minutes of running as fast as he could up the hike to stop me from going too far ahead, because as we'll get into in this video, there are some rules about hiking in a group which I didn't know at the time, including going quickly. So I'm going to give him a sausage roll to say sorry.
Right, let's jump on our bus and make our way to the trailhead.
I got you a sausage roll.
Oh, what?
Yeah, because I felt bad for you chasing me the other day.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Mate. No worries.
Ultimate Hikes provide transport from Queenstown or Te Anau to the start of the trailhead. And once we'd had a little briefing, we soon arrived, picked up our packed lunches and got ready to begin.
Okay, we have officially been dropped off at the beginning of the Routeburn hike, and it is drizzling and misty and mysterious. But we will be in the tree line for most of it, so I don't think I'm going to need my waterproof or my rain jacket or even my little brolly, which a lot of people take the piss out of me for having, but actually does a really good job. Let's begin the Routeburn Track officially together right now.
As you can see here, the Routeburn Track is broken down into 3 days. Day 1 and 2 are mostly uphill, and then day 3 we come back down.
Alrighty, here we are. Let's go.
Even with the weather, everyone was in good spirits, but the first morning was rather uneventful, to be honest. We simply made our way up through the tree line for the first hour or two. The forests are stunning, and the mosses that grow all over the trees here were flourishing in this drizzly weather. After a while, we were told there's an optional 45 to an hour detour to a viewpoint called Key Summit, and as you can see from this picture, it boasts incredible views of the valleys and mountains below. Most of the group decided not to do it, but I decided to go up there for 2 reasons. The first was the guide I was chatting to was from the UK, and we were having a great chat, and since he was going up there, I wanted to just keep chatting to him and ask him questions about life as a guide here.
Absolutely beautiful.
And the second reason was I wanted to gamble and hope that the clouds would clear, or that we would simply gain enough elevation to peer up and over those low-laying rain clouds. But as you can see, unfortunately, the gamble didn't pay off.
Okay, our little side quest to the viewpoint wasn't completely not worth it, because it's good to just stay warm and see this really unique alpine forest, which apparently we won't see anything similar to this for the rest of the hike. So it was quite unique, a few carnivorous plants and things like that. And just good to meet the new guide and walk through the mossy forest of New Zealand, which is just a pleasure in any weather.
Anyway, these things happen when you hike. It's totally part of the experience, especially here in New Zealand. So let's catch up with the group and find a spot to eat our packed lunch.
Okay, lunch was absolutely delicious. from Fur Burger, no less. Vegetarian sandwich stuffed with halloumi, red pesto, green pesto, peppery rocket, and aubergines. Soft, gooey coconut muffin, and then a little cereal bar that was actually full of Rice Krispies and cranberries. It was incredible, and a fresh apple. One thing I have learned from my Milford Track experience is this hike is severely lacking in chocolate. So I bought myself a nice bar of chocolate, which I'll be breaking off nibble by nibble, day by day. One thing I can't really live without is chocolate. That is a bit of a deal breaker for me. Anyway, as you can see, the hut is in the misty wind. We're going to be heading up and up and up and up now all the way till camp. So whether we get any views, I'm not quite sure. So let's just meet up with the group. I've just had a nice quiet lunch on the park bench. And yes, we're going up into the misty mountains. I hope the weather does improve. More updates soon.
Day one was turning out to be a nature walk in comparison to an epic mountain pass that I had envisioned. But we still have plenty of distance left to cover, so let's put this poor weather to one side and keep positive.
Absolutely incredible, beautiful, magical, just heaven on earth.
The path was easy, the path was gorgeous, and thankfully, unlike the Milford Track, since my pace was a little bit faster than the group's, I was actually allowed way more freedom to hike ahead of the group and go at my own slightly faster pace.
One of the things I'm noticing is it's a bit more relaxed and chilled out. The Milford Track, we had to stay together. It was a bit more controlled. This one seems way more laid back, which so far I appreciate. I just want to be on my own, exploring this wondrous, magical place.
And so as I continued the hike pretty much all alone, there wasn't really that much else to report other than this beautiful waterfall.
Don't fall.
And of course, just turn after turn of incredible beautiful ferns, mosses, trees, and plenty of birds dropping by to say hello. So after about 3 hours of peaceful hiking, where I had lots of time to reflect and simply soak up this magical part of the world, I finally reached the lodge where we would be staying for the night.
Okie dokie, welcome to Mackenzie Lodge. Home for the night. And since I'm first at the lodgings, I can show you around the entire place without anyone worrying that I'm going to accidentally film them getting changed or something in the dorm room.
So, welcome to the Mackenzie Lodge, our first accommodation here on the Routeburn Track. Just like on the Milford Track, Ultimate Hikes provide these incredible accommodations as part of the ticket price, and they have comfortable social areas, refreshing welcome drinks on snacks when you arrive from the trail. They have these amazing drying rooms where you can dry all of your hiking gear and your hiking boots, perfect after a rainy day like today. There's plenty of tea and coffee machines on hand, and these lodges are just a great place to sit, relax, make friends with the other hikers, and just enjoy the views. But before we can do any of that, we need to bagsy our dorm bed and have a hot shower.
The good thing about getting to the room first is I can choose the bed. I think I'm sharing with 3 South Korean guys. So where do I choose? Do I go bunk bed? Obviously, no one wants the top bunk, but I think 2 of them might want to sleep together. I definitely don't want to take this and then find out someone has to sleep with me in the double bed. So I think we'll go with the single bed here against the wall. That makes the most sense. Plus I can charge my phone and my camera right here. Obviously, there's no signal up here, guys. When you do the Routeburn or any of the ultimate hikes, they tell you no Wi-Fi signal. So let your loved ones and work know that you're going off grid, which is one of the highlights of the whole thing. It's incredible just to switch off.
I should also mention, you don't have to stay in a dorm room. That's just the cheapest option. You can book yourself a private room, have a look on their websites, and choose the room according to your budget. So once everyone else had finally arrived and showered, it was time for some cheese and snacks. Thank you very much. A much needed boost of energy. And then the sun came out. I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to end the day by walking down to the nearby lake and soak up some of the sun's rays and have a glass of wine before an early night.
So thankfully the weather has cleared and the sun has come out just before dinner. So I took a little stroll over to Lake Mackenzie itself and just enjoyed a little bit of peace and quiet with the birds and the campers. So there are some huts there. That's where a lot of the wild campers will be. There's some accommodation and there's a campsite. Obviously we're hiking with Ultimate Hike, so we're in the posh cabin getting fed in a minute. But to feel the sun is beautiful, and as you can see behind me, blue skies and the mountains have finally come out. It makes a whole world of difference, as you can imagine. So it's been nice to just relax and soak up some of these much needed rays after a bit of a drizzly, moist first day. Let's go and have a look at dinner.
Ultimate Hikes provide excellent dinners, and each day you get an option of 3 mains to choose from. Usually a meat dish, a fish dish, and a veggie or a vegan option. Today I wanted to try the vegetarian curry with rice, and it was delicious. After dinner, it was time for a glass of red wine and a group briefing about tomorrow's mountain pass and an awful weather forecast. Then it was time for bed. Time to recharge because tomorrow would be the hardest day. The group and I all went to bed a little bit worried about the weather forecast. Didn't look very good. Oh dear. Let's see what tomorrow holds. It's worth mentioning that each morning there's a sandwich station where you can make your own packed lunch, whether that be a wrap or a couple of sarnies, grab some snacks and some fruit. And then we had our cooked breakfast of bacon and poached eggs, and it was absolutely delicious.
Okay, good morning. And we've had our breakfast, we've made our sandwiches, and now we've got 45 minutes extra to kill before we actually set off. One difference between the Routeburn and the Milford is that we set off much later. Gives us way more time to relax in the morning. Normally, we would be out the door on the trail by 7:30, but we're not leaving here till 9:15, which is a long time to slowly get ready, which is nice.
Just before we set off, it was time for the group photo, something no group hike could possibly happen without. The forecast today was that there was a huge storm making its way up and over the mountains to where we would be hiking. We were told to expect heavy rains and strong winds. The forecast also said that the strongest winds and the heaviest rains were due in the afternoon, so my plan was to get a move on and make it across the mountain pass way before any winds could blow me off the side of the mountain. So let's get cracking and let's see how the rest of the day unfolds.
Here comes the rain. Just a light drizzle, but beautiful views none the same. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get up high over this mountain ridge and see into the next valley and beyond. But yeah, good fun, good fun. Rain or shine.
Even though the next few hours of hiking were going to be really tough, with these surroundings, all I could feel was an overwhelming sense of joy. Just before we reached the pass and went face first into the winds, it was time for a quick hot drink.
Hot cup of Milo, anyone?
Honestly, these hot drink stops are a godsend. There's nothing better than having a hot chocolate and a quick chat on the side of a mountain. Once we reached the pass above the tree line, the winds were very strong. I tried to vlog, but you just couldn't hear me.
Okay, it's been quite exposed up here. I seem to have a light break in the wind so I can talk to you. It has been very, very windy. But yeah, that little stretch behind me along that ridge where you can see all the other people behind me, they're going to get absolutely battered by that wind. Good fun though.
Yeah, it wasn't just those behind me who would get the full brunt of these winds. It would also smash me for the next hour or so whilst we traversed this exposed ridge.
Looks gorgeous, doesn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. And sometimes you don't get a lick of wind, and then you turn the corner, and it's like gale force, you know?
And as you can see, the weather forecast, the winds for today and the following one would reach gusts of over 110 kilometers per hour. We were hiking right on the limit of what is considered safe. Any stronger and we would have to abandon the walk, turn back and head for shelter. During this ridge walk, the winds would gust and then the winds would calm, as did the rains. One minute it would pour and lash down, and then the next it would subside into a light drizzle. The views, however, sadly did not really reveal themselves too much. Not yet, anyway. Stay tuned for those, they're going to be epic, I promise. But I did capture this tiny glimpse.
They take biosecurity so strictly in New Zealand, and it's actually quite a good thing because this stream is actually one of the only streams in the mountains here that is infested with this very toxic type of algae. Luckily, it's actually only growing in this one mountain stream. So there's a strict rule, cannot drink from it, cannot touch it, cannot put your feet in it, as it would spread to the other streams and rivers. And as you can see, it doesn't look very nice. Time for lunch.
This cabin was warm, welcoming, and quickly filled up with cold and windswept hikers. The weather outside looked like it was only getting worse, so I decided to push on, layer up one more time, and head outside into the miserable weather.
It was nice and warm in there with my fleece on and my woolly hat, and now I've had to put on all the wet gear again to get to the end of the day's hike. Only an hour and a half, but it is up and then down.
Little did I know that the weather on the other side of the ridge was much better, and the true beauty of the Routeburn was about to fully reveal itself to us.
I mean, look at this. This is absolutely epic. Gorgeous. Stunning. Look at the colour of this rock. Almost green. Or teal. Wow. I think we're going to take off this rain jacket. The sun is coming out, look, right here. Are we going to get the sun on our beautiful faces?
I'm sure that any hikers watching this video can relate to the feeling of hiking in the cold, windy rain. It can feel never-ending and rather soul-destroying. But just as you battle those emotions, I'm sure anyone can imagine the feeling of pure joy when the weather improves. And that the beautiful nature of your surroundings can be properly appreciated.
Okay, this day has turned. I know it still looks cloudy and miserable, but it's unbelievable. It's absolutely beautiful. That valley down there, and I wasn't quite sure if the Routeburn was going to turn out. I thought it was going to be a washout completely, but not anymore.
Long gone were the freezing, howling winds, now replaced by flowing streams, bird song, and the distant thunder from the storm battering the ridges on the east. This sheltered valley was outstanding. Each step I took, I got one step closer to the second lodge, but each step seemed one step too many. I really didn't want this section to finish at all. So, as we make our way down to the lodge, let's turn down the music for a moment. I'll stop narrating and you can enjoy the sounds of the Routeburn Track for a moment before we head back down, check in and dry off.
Okay, welcome to Routeburn Falls Lodge. And what a great descent, what a great mixed day. Up in the freezing rain, down with the beautiful views. As usual, I'm going to check in to my dorm room, and because I'm quite early, I should be the first one to choose the bed. And then I will relax, and we'll have a cheese board at 5. We'll have a lovely dinner again, and I think tonight I'm going to open a bottle of red. Because why not? Ooh. I still take you home. Yeah, I still take you home.
Nice little sing-song, Paddy. Now let's do some laundry. Now let's put the wet, clean clothes in the drying room. Only a few other hikers have made it back so far, so let's enjoy watching the storm roll in. I know it's cliche, but is there a better book to read in this type of environment? Now it's time for some naughty, delicious snacks. A quick briefing. And another delicious dinner with the group. Right, time for bed. The storm is hitting us hard again tomorrow, but we have an almost all downhill, easy day.
Good morning on the last day of the Routeburn, and as you can see, the weather has turned. The storm that was forecast to arrive has arrived, and it's only going to get worse from this afternoon. So what does that mean for us? Well, we're only making our way off the mountain. We have a 3-hour hike down through the tree line, which will keep us sheltered from most of the winds. There will be gusts of up to 100-mile-an-hour winds today up on the ridge. So just enjoy us getting soaked for a few minutes down the mountain. It's not going to be pleasant, but you might enjoy it.
Okay, so let's get wet and let's get down this mountain. It's amazing that even in this weather, New Zealand can still absolutely blow you away.
So epic.
As the storm raged, we took shelter in the tree line and we watched the rivers and the waterfalls flowing like mad. When we made it down, we changed into our dry stuff and boarded the cozy, warm bus. About an hour down the road, we stopped at a country pub for a quick pint and a packet of crisps.
I'm not bothered about. All I want to know is what is the score? Did we win or did we lose?
And that was this morning, right?
And then, that was it. The Routeburn was over. So, to get to Mount Cook, I booked a public bus all the way up from Queenstown. Now, New Zealand has almost no train services, so unless you've got your own transport, buses are your best bet to get around. But if you're like me and you're going to be using buses, make sure to bring your wallets, because travelling by bus in New Zealand is not cheap. I paid 200 New Zealand dollars for a one-way ticket from Queenstown to Mount Cook. In fact, my return ticket was 250 New Zealand dollars. That being said, the bus ride was beautiful and I got to work on my edits. We stopped for an incredible lunch of steak and eggs.
This is not a bad lunch.
And the views all the way up were absolutely incredible. And towards the end of the journey, New Zealand's highest and most striking peak finally came into view.
The whole bus journey has been so nice. Our bus driver has a little earpiece and he gives us the history of the towns and of the power stations and all of the things that we're driving past. And this is just a public bus. I don't know if that's actually part of the service of the ticket or if he just likes to do it to pass the time. And obviously after that beautiful lunch, we're driving towards Mount Cook itself and it's right in front of us. And he's just found a nice little spot on the side of the road for us to take pictures. New Zealand's tallest mountain right in front of us in all of its wonder.
Mount Cook, known as Aoraki, has a lot of interesting history and fun facts. Some of the earliest conquerors of Everest came here to train, and to this day it's very popular with mountaineers who come here to practice ice and glacial climbing. But according to Maori legend, Aoraki is the tallest of a family of brothers who were all turned to stone. And so it's not considered just a mountain here, it's a living presence or a guardian. And standing at 3,700 meters tall, it pierces the sky and to the Maoris bridges the gap between the earthly and the divine. Anyway, now that we're here, let's check in to our hostel.
Okay, welcome to the first hostel on this trip. This is the Haka House Hostel here in Mount Cook. And I chose it for two reasons. The first one is the coach actually uses the hostel as a station. So it's actually a coach stop. So I knew I didn't have to walk too far. It literally dropped me at the doorstep of the hostel. Very convenient. Secondly, it's really nice. It's got a beautiful little terrace that I'm enjoying out here in the sun with amazing views of the nearby mountains. And it's also really close to a lot of the trailheads for some of the popular hikes in this area, which of course I'll do in a minute once I've checked in. And it was reasonably affordable. And I also saw at the front desk you can book a helicopter tour. I've checked the weather and tomorrow it's going to be sunny just like this, but then it's going to rain on the final day. So I just booked a helicopter tour for tomorrow morning. So that should be fun. So what I'm going to do is just kill a little bit of time, check in, get settled, unpack a little bit, and then go on an afternoon hike.
Not far from the hostel is a local visitor centre and the start of about 3 or 4 fantastic, well-known hiking trails. And as you can see here, there's a few great options, so you could easily spend a few days exploring 1 or 2 trails a day and really get to know the peaks in this area. However, and as I'll mention later, there were some issues regarding the trails that meant I couldn't go explore as much as I wanted. The UV today was stronger than I've ever felt anywhere else before. So I was really thankful that the visitor centre sold sun cream and I was able to apply some factor 50, because without sun cream and my sun hats, hiking in this sunny exposed area would have been extremely miserable.
And as you can see, bird song, blue skies, not a lick of wind. Conditions could not be better, literally. This is jackpot. we have struck the jackpot, especially because it's been cloudy and rainy for 2 days, whilst I had a rest day in Queenstown and a travel day to here. And whilst I've been driving through the valleys, it's cleared up. I mean, the gods are looking down on me on this trip so far in terms of the weather. If you've been following along so far, in Queenstown we had incredible scenes. Then on the Milford Track we had rain and sun, which is exactly what you want to see it in full flow. Routeburn was a bit of a washout for the first day and a half, but then that revealed itself in its truest form. And now Mount Cook is just there. Uninterrupted views of the tallest peak and arguably the most beautiful peak in what is quickly becoming, in my opinion, the most beautiful country on planet Earth. Honestly. Okay then, just met a nice Liverpool fan. We were just exchanging stories. And just been admiring the view. But there's no Kias here. The beautiful, friendly parrots that we saw in the Milford Track. So I don't know why it's called Kia Point. I can't hear them, I can't see them. Normally they would be very vocal. And there's no shade. So the view's incredible, but I'm getting cooked alive a little bit, to be honest. It is really hot in this sun. So I think I'm just going to chill and turn around and relax. The weather forecast is similar to this tomorrow, so I think I might do a hike either early in the morning or later in the afternoon, just because the sun is brutal.
When I made my way back into town, I was feeling a little bit under the weather. There aren't any supermarkets, not even a convenience store up here, so I couldn't make myself anything healthy to feel better. I had to settle for this pizza in the only pub in the village, and safe to say, the food was a bit shite. Feeling sick and a bit down in the dumps, I headed back because I was really excited to experience one of the magical things about being this far away from any large cities or towns.
Hello, I just wanted to make sure that the torch was working. I've just been filming the stars because there's not much else to do here. And wow, how much fun I've just had. The moon is about to come up, as you'll see in one of the photos, and probably ruin the night sky. But I've had about a good hour here just sharing, taking pictures of what I can see with my human eye, and the iPhone does a really good job of accentuating it, but honestly I've never seen anything like it. I share some of the photos. They'll start off a bit shit, but as I dialed in the settings and figured out how to do it properly, I can't believe how good some of these pictures turned out. So check them out and enjoy the night sky in New Zealand. It's so clear, it's so wonderful.
The following morning, it was time for my helicopter tour of Mount Cook itself. The weather was fabulous, and so whilst I have this window of clear skies, I was really happy to book on a tour last minute. I looked at a few different companies that offered different types of tours, but this one had the best deal, so...
And I decided to book one for two reasons. The first one is, look how beautiful it is, and the weather is going to change tomorrow, so this is the perfect time to experience the glaciers and Mount Cook from a very unique perspective, and I think it would make a great video, and it will just be a fantastic adventure. And the second reason is, the little village of Mount Cook itself is, there's nothing going on there. There is a hotel, there is a hostel, there is a pub, and it's in a beautiful location, but with the UV and the crazy amount of sunlight, that kind of gave me a little bit of sunstroke yesterday. I didn't really fancy going hiking today. I booked this company called the Helicopter Line. The reason being is they were the best value that I could find on Klook. I book a lot of things when I travel on Klook, train passes, activities, hotels sometimes. They are one of my sponsors of the channel, but they're not actually sponsoring this particular video or anything. I just thought I'd let you know that I booked this through Klook because I got a really good deal.
Close up to these rocks now. fly the helicopter, we really want to the source of the ice. And touchdown. Any second now. Any second now. Very, very smooth. No bumpy ride here today. Wow. Fresh snow. So down in Mount Cook itself, guys, the bit of the glacier that you can see, it's all covered in black rock. It doesn't really give you that feeling. There's only one thing that we can possibly do here in this unspoilt snow. And that's a snow angel. That is a pathetic looking snow angel. You can see there is a hut up there, which must be the base of operations for some of the peaks. They also do a lot of heli skiing here as well in the winter. So you get the helicopter up to here and it'll give you hours worth of adventures down the glacier onto the slopes below. And I feel like only via the helicopter could you get to this. You wouldn't really easily be able to hike up here unless you were some kind of mental mountaineer. Oh, I'm just realizing I'm getting short of breath because of the lack of oxygen. I don't know how high we are, but from sea level where we started, you can really feel it. It's a beautiful, beautiful day here in New Zealand on a glacier, on the tallest mountain in the country. What a thrill. Okay, so I just spoke to the pilot and yeah, we are at 8,000 feet. So I think just over 2,000 meters. So yeah, we can feel the air quality. And then he just told me that these huts are based, for mountaineers and people who get dropped off and ski around here, explore around here, and then they get picked up again by the helicopter, which is incredible. What a hobby that must be. The last time I did a helicopter tour was with Michael in Patagonia, and they gave us a glass of champagne and it was very bougie. This one, a little bit more laid back. We've got a lot more space to explore. I think I just want to sit down, actually. It's so beautiful. I just want to sit here and take it all in. The other helicopter that we went with the same company, there's a family of 5 from India, and my helicopter, 4 people from Australia, actually. 2 couples. I did think that I would get the front seat because I'm on my own, but I'm happy with where I'm sat. It's a great view, and we can watch the pilot maneuver and stuff. Oh, this trip to New Zealand, I don't think I'm ever going to forget this one. The return leg of the flight was by far my favourite part, and if you're wondering, by the way, the flight time in total was around 45 minutes, which is pretty good value for the 500 New Zealand dollars that I paid.
So we are actually flying right alongside Mount Tasman and Mount Cook, the second and tallest mountain in New Zealand. That right there is the summit of Mount Tasman. That's the second tallest mountain in New Zealand. This is the glacier that the hikers will climb and struggle up and over to reach this ridge line, which then takes them up to the summit of Mount Cook, which is literally right there. That's literally the highest point of New Zealand, and it feels like I could jump out of the helicopter and make it up there in 10 minutes. We're so high up at this point.
This is some cool stuff. And I feel like we're just about to go through a very tight little passage of rock here as we go right past the summit of Mount Cook itself. Just like that, we're back. Okay, we're nearly done. I just need to decide whether to buy this $30 photograph of myself. No, I don't think I will. Okay, so welcome and good morning from the beautiful Wanaka. Okie dokie everybody, welcome to Wanaka. I've just this second arrived. Just got off a coach. There it goes, the great sights. Wanaka, welcome, and look how beautiful it is. First things first, let's have a look around and let's get a coffee. Wanaka is a small town famous for its beautiful lake, gorgeous mountains and friendly locals. And, as you can see, it's cute as a button.
I tried to get a coffee in 3 different cafes, and each one told me it was a 20 to 30 minute wait. It's quite busy on a Saturday morning here. And my first impressions of Wanaka is, it feels a little bit like Queenstown, just without all of the tourists. It's a bit more family friendly here. A lot of people with their kids, a lot of people walking their dogs. Not too many people walking around with a backpack and a suitcase on wheels like me. But it's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. It seems like there's a lot to do in terms of lake water activities. There are people out there on boat trips and sailing. There's kayaks for rent, jet skis for rent. There's also, I know for a fact, hiking up on that ridge. Because I've got all my stuff and I don't want to lug it around with me, I think I'm going to go to my hotel, which is about a 15-minute walk along the lake. I won't be able to check in, but at least I'll be able to dump my stuff and make a bit of a plan. Check-in's at 3, but she let me check in at 11. How lucky am I? She said she moved someone around and I changed rooms. Anyway, long story short, she got me in, which was nice. I didn't even ask, you know, I just walked in expecting to be told, yeah, dump your bags and then check in 4 hours, which is fair enough. But thankfully, she sorted me out. So here we are. This is called Edgewater Hotel. It's a bit fancy. This is by far the most expensive room of the trip. This is how much I've paid for 2 nights, and that's without breakfast. Breakfast was very expensive, so I was just like, I'll just get like a sandwich from the shop or something. Not really a big breakfast person anyway. I just thought because Wanaka is slowly coming towards the end of my trip, that I would treat myself, and I've been in dorms on the Milford Track, on the Routeburn Track. I've been in dorms up in Mount Cook in a dorm last night. So let's spend a bit of money on a nice room.
The hotel also rented mountain bikes. The price was quite reasonable, so I decided to rent one. $50
for a half day. And I think we'll just go for a little cycle around Wanaka, see what we can find. Maybe we'll find a little pub. I'm sure we'll have beautiful views. I think I'm coming into a dead end already. That's someone's private land. Beautiful houses around here for sale. Look at this one. Beautiful. New Zealand is definitely up there as a place I'd love to live and retire one day. Not enough going on here for someone my age. Too much of a culture shock moving from somewhere like Bangkok to the suburbs of a lake town in New Zealand, but maybe one day. Just need a few $1 million first. It's not cheap round here. One of the aspects of coming to Wanaka was, this was part of the trip where I decided to make no plans other than book an accommodation, because my entire New Zealand trip had to be booked, you know, so far in advance in order to make sure I could get onto the things I wanted to get on, including the Milford Track and the Routeburn Track, which sell out 3 to 6 months in advance. So most of this trip has been pre-organized, and I've been on an itinerary basically. But with Wanaka, I decided to just totally go with the flow. And so this cycle has taken me to the start of a trail called Roy's Peak. And there are a lot of camper vans, a lot of people here who look like they've gone up. By the look of it, it might take an hour, it might take 2. So we'll do that tomorrow, if the weather's good. Hey, did you do the hike?
Yeah.
Is it good?
It's very good.
Okay, and how long did it take, do you know?
4 hours, 30 minutes.
4 hours, 30 minutes. Okay, we definitely didn't want to just start that. A bit further along the lake's edge is a town. Apparently there's a pub. So let's go cycle down there, get a bite to eat. I've seen a lot of people bike packing across New Zealand. It's a very popular way to travel the country. But I just don't really, from what I've seen from being on the buses and now here on the actual road, I don't think I would enjoy it just because of the traffic situation. And there are signs everywhere, share the road. And they do drive with consideration. But it's the tourists that whiz past in their camper vans, overtaking on blind corners, that I don't necessarily trust. Okie dokie, welcome to the lakeside town of Glendhu. And everyone else has brought their big trucks and jet skis. Quite the country to live in if you're adventurous and you like water sports and action, fishing, mountaineering, biking, or giant green tents. I wonder if you can pay to do that, or seems like this is everyone's weekend activity, weekend fun. I seem to have stumbled across some sort of festival. Loads of parking, live music, and what looks to be hundreds of people having a really nice day out.
Well, I don't. I just take his money and go.
Excuse me, mate. Hey, is this a private event?
No.
What is it?
It's a Ripe Food and Wine Festival.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So pay to get in?
Yeah.
Okay, this day's taken a turn. Gonna leave my bicycle here. I had to pay to enter, which is fair enough. $78, quite expensive. But they do give you little tokens. Each one of these tokens represents a free tasting of a wine, and they gave me 4. So let's go have a little walk around and have a few tastings. Cheers, New Zealand!
Right, let's see if we can find some of this free wine. Now let's have a look. What can we find here? Number 4. Ah, yes.
Oh, that is divine.
This local festival had it all. From arts and crafts, local sellers, local artists, and of course, yummy local wine and beers.
We'll definitely get something to eat as well, but I think we'll work our way through the 4 tastings. Explore, listen to some music, and make the most of the $78 entrance. Not too bad for what it is. I mean, what a view and what a location.
This festival that I just so happened to stumble across was called Ripe, and sadly only happens once a year on this particular Saturday afternoon. Everyone was having a lovely day out. All the girls were dolled up and all the lads were up for it. Speaking of which, let's grab another sample.
It is. That'll do, thank you. Appreciate it. What a find this was. I must say, my first impressions was it was a bit expensive, but then I got 4 free tokens, and the wine tasting pours are actually quite generous. You get about 50 to 70 mils. So I had a champagne, I've had a rosé, I've had a Pinot Noir, a Pinot Gris, all the local grapes, and there's fantastic music on. In fact, one of my favorite artists from when I was at university is playing here on stage in a minute, Lady Hawk. I've literally got 2 of her albums, and she's on stage next. So, I mean, there's the ticket price alone. Had a delicious pork sandwich, and I'm surrounded by people who are enjoying their day off on a beautiful Saturday here, with wine, beer, and great food and incredible music. Well worth it. I can't believe the people in the hostel, sorry, my hotel, didn't tell me about this. I just literally would have never have found it. I would have gone the wrong way, done the wrong thing. I totally stumbled across this by accident. But that kind of thing happens sometimes when you're traveling, right? Sometimes incredible things land on your doorstep if you go out looking for them.
Yeah, not long later, Lady Hawk hit the stage and she was incredible. She sang 20 songs back to back, and all of the Wanaka locals were having a right tear up. When I first edited this video, I kept the music in, but it got copyrighted, so excuse the random generic indie pop music. But honestly, Lady Hawk, you nailed it. Thank you so much for bringing everyone together and making this random afternoon even more unforgettable.
Okay. What a random, beautiful afternoon that was. And now I get the pleasure of hopefully finding the mountain bike trail and cycling back into Wanaka. Woo! All the local people from Wanaka would have been cringing so hard knowing that I wasn't on this trail on the way to the festival. I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't know this was here. I'm by no means a mountain biker. In fact, this is the most mountain biking I've ever done. And even though this is probably a very easy trail for those who call mountain biking a hobby, it's quite tricky. I am so happy that this bike has good brakes, and I am so happy that you're here with me while I talk myself through this tricky little section. Okay, there we go. Woo. Up we go. Damn it. I'm having fun, but I'm going to put you away just so it's a little bit safer, because I think this is probably intermediate level now, okay?
So, that was the end of day one in the beautiful Wanaka. What a great little gem this place truly is. When you have days like these memories last a lot longer than anywhere else where you just seemingly pass by. Being able to connect a little bit deeper and meet a lot of the locals at the wine festival really helped strengthen the bond that I have with this place, and I can't wait to come back. Wanaka, you really are truly beautiful. I'll never forget you. And the best part is, we're not done yet, because tomorrow we've still got the best thing to do. Yes, the following day I took the morning off to rest and to wait for some bad weather to pass, but then around 2 o'clock in the afternoon I jumped in a local taxi to the start of the trail that we cycled past yesterday. I had my eye on the viewpoint and I had heard some great things about the views from the top.
Okay, welcome to the second day here in Wanaka, and I've decided to come up to Roy's Peak, which we saw yesterday. It's very popular for sunrise, but the weather forecast this morning wasn't very good. And of course I woke up at around 6:30 and it was rainy and it was cloudy. So if I had have gotten up, it wouldn't have really been a good sunrise. And I needed a little bit of a lazy morning to enjoy the hotel, have a lie in. And I've waited all the way until 2 o'clock. It's now 2:40 and we have a weather window. We have a nice sunny few hours before apparently it rains again in the afternoon or just after sunset. It's going to be steep and it's going to be sweaty. So let's just go up and let's enjoy the view, shall we? I'll stop twice on the way up to let you know how it's going. Otherwise, we've done a lot of hiking on this trip and I don't really fancy walking past the camera 10,000 times. So far, so steep. Lots of zigzags up or switchbacks, and everyone coming down that I've passed looks like they're in pain. So I think going down is going to suck. Going up, quite the pleasurable experience. A young couple ran past me earlier. And I thought to myself, they don't have water or hats. And that's them turning back. I don't think we're halfway. And they realized, maybe we need water. Okay, not quite at the summit. There is a viewpoint here. And as you can see, it kind of goes along that ridge and it looks absolutely spectacular, but I'm not even going to turn around and look at that too much because we still have 1.5k to the summit. So let's go tag the summit, come back down and enjoy the viewpoint together. Okay, final stretch. We're just going up this ridge now. The ridge will take us up along to the top of the peak. There's some clouds blowing in this ridge and then along and along up to that quite ugly electrical pole. That seems to be the summit, don't look. Oh my God, the view is unbelievable, isn't it? Whew. Gotta beat this cloud. Gotta get up there quickly. Practically there now. There are 3 people. The views. Oh my God, the views. We are in and out of cloud. I've just been sort of hanging around here for a few minutes. The people at the summit were just doing some silly TikToks or something. So I just let them have their moment. And now look, it's just us. It's just us. And look, this is, okay, we're in the clouds, okay, but this is one of the most incredible views I've ever seen. Probably the highlight view of the entire trip, other than maybe Milford Sound and the second day of the Routeburn Track. That was another highlight. But this has to be the best view I've experienced in New Zealand by far. The sun really wants to burn off that cloud for me so I can bask and sunbathe. This hike was tricky. This hike was very tricky. I'd say it was an 8 out of 10 in terms of fitness levels. It was just all up, and it took 2 hours and 45 minutes to get to the top. And it will easily take me 2 hours to get down because it was quite steep and it will be quite brutal on the knees. So I'll go slow. Oh, look at that, the sun has just burnt off that last bit of cloud and now we're fully exposed. Look at this. There's the view. We couldn't see any of these peaks for the last 10 minutes because of the clouds. There's Wanaka down there. There's my hotel, Edgewater. There's town centre where I arrived on the bus. I didn't explore anywhere over there. Then we did the mountain bike trail yesterday up and around that mountain, and we went to the Wine and Beer Festival, which was somewhere over there. All of this is still the same lake. All of that is the fjords. And all of this is the wilderness. New Zealand. Is there a more beautiful country than New Zealand? Right, I'm going to go down to the viewpoint now. So I'm going to take a quick picture before I leave, because in this wind, it gets a wee bit nippy. I didn't know I would run here. I don't know where I've got this energy from. I don't know where I've got this strength from. All this hiking in Hong Kong and in New Zealand has really built up my strength, my endurance. I feel stronger than I've ever felt in my entire life. And I just turned 39. So I just want to say a big thank you to you guys, to you. If you're sat there on your sofa, if you're watching this on the way to work, if you're sat in the bathtub, the reason why I'm here doing this sharing these moments is because of you guys. You guys watch my videos. And we're nearly up to 300,000 subscribers, and I've never felt so grateful in my entire life. New Zealand was a dream come true. Look at it. And, you know, whether I'm eating street food with Gary or I'm on an expedition to Antarctica or climbing a mountain in New Zealand, it's all because of you. So this is my thank you to you. Thank you so much. And I hope these videos are enjoyable, interesting, useful. And I've got nothing else to say except for thank you.